What's going on, guys? CJ here, back with another video. So I have a lot of awesome content for you guys, but before we get into that, I figured I'd do a video of my 2016 MK7 Golf R, so you guys can get an idea of what's actually been done to it and everything. So let's get to it. So first and foremost, I'll probably get roasted for this. If you don't know what this is so that's a Rally Art decal for the Evo. Rally Art's basically like Nismo for Mitsubishi, and I really like this decal, so I went ahead and put it on. I had an extra one. I might take it off, but I don't care. It's my car. All right, so I got the down low. I got the Maxton front splitter, as well as I have the whole kit. So as you can see, very similar to the Evo, I have the Maxton extensions as well. So I'm actually going to get some light in here. I forgot to turn the lights on, so give me 1 second. Alright guys, got a little bit of light going. So I got over here the TSW Sprint wheels. These are 18 by 8.5. I believe it's a 43 plus 43 millimeter offset. I really like these wheels. One of the cool things about these wheels, as you can see, they actually have little vent holes. Whether they work or not, I really don't know. So I bought these wheels as a pre-order. I didn't even know it had those things till they actually showed up, and I ended up digging them, so I went ahead and kept them. So yeah, I also got the StopTech rotors and pads. As you can see, I wanted it looked really weird with the stock rotors with these wheels, because they're so kind of they're so flashy in a way because they're so big. These are 19 by 8.5. All right, got the same setup all around. This is an all-wheel drive car. I went ahead and slapped some 4mm spacers, as you can see, and yeah, I got the same rotor set up in the back, so it looks pretty clean. Moving on to the back, I got so these are the Euro taillights. Now these things are pretty pricey. This is like the first, so this is a 2016. For the 16 and the 17, this would be what the taillights you would get from the factory in Europe. So yeah, so the deal with these is the US has different standards on the actual blinkers. So they were not approved, from what I'm being told, at least. This is what I read. These were not approved for US use. So yeah, these have the LED everything. The stock ones are pretty garbage, but yeah, as you can see, these light up. You also need to code these, so you need a program called VADCOM to code these, so the car recognizes that it has those taillights. So yeah, these European cars are very sensitive with their stuff, and yeah, electronics is one of them. All right, I got the CTS turbo, full turbo back. As you can see, I love this exhaust. It's got a huge resonator on it. It's got a big muffler, so it's pretty quiet once you turn it on. But once you get on it, it actually opens up pretty well. So yeah. So that's pretty much it for the exterior. Nothing too crazy. It's obviously lowered on coilovers, and yeah, I like them, clean and kind of lowered. And as you can tell, yeah, I like white a lot, so yeah. Alright guys, want to check out the interior. The interior is mainly stock with the exception of a few bits and pieces. This is one of the biggest selling points for this car, is actually the interior. It's very nice. The Golf R the US Golf R gets leather seats automatically. No sunroof option, unfortunately. The GTIs did. But the little accents that this car has, as you can see, the little blue LEDs. This is all stock, by the way. I'm not a big fan of blue, but I think they pulled it off great with this car. So I went ahead and kept everything blue. So yeah, I got the matching. Now this is one of the coolest things about this car. I got the matching LED boost gauge in the pod, and then I also got the Cobb access port. The reason why I did that is because this reads boost from what the ECU requests, not what actually is produced from the car. So that's one of the reasons why I went ahead and got that. And they're very close. I'll notice a slight difference here and there, but yeah, generally speaking, they're pretty on point, both of them. So yeah, this car is has a very nice interior, as you can see. I got the Black Forest Industries. I actually broke the original stock shift knob at the track, as crazy as it sounds. Yeah, at the drag strip, I guess I was banging gears a little hard, and yeah, I ended up breaking that. It's kind of a cool story. It's one of the reasons why I started this channel, because I basically do a lot of car stuff, and stuff like that happens to me all the time. So yeah, that's basically it for the interior. Nothing too crazy. I like it pretty clean. We'll go ahead and check out the under the hood. Alright guys, let's check under the hood. Alright, so not too crazy with the under the hood. I like to keep it pretty clean. So this is basically a full bolt-on car. Of course, I got the intake, got the little elbow adapter as well. They have different names for these parts. I'm so used to kind of the JDM world that I had to relearn a lot of these parts, because Europeans have like up pipes and charge pipes and throttle pipes and all kinds of stuff. But this car has all of them, and they're all CTS turbo. I kind of like to keep everything uniformed. So yeah, as you can see, and then this catch can from ECS Tuning. It doesn't really do much. Honestly, it's just an ornament. The PCVs in these cars are pretty shitty, so they don't do anything. Stock turbo. I got the turbo blanket on there as well. Haven't really noticed too much of a difference with the turbo blanket, but then again, that's, I don't know, it should be a subtle kind of change. I get a lot of questions when I post pictures on this. So this cover is actually from a Tiguan. I hated the stock cover. Actually, I think I have it in the back. I'll pull it right now. Alright guys, I got the stock cover here. As you can see, there's a huge size difference in these. So I went ahead and got the bigger one from the Tiguan, because I hated how this car exposed the intake manifold, and it would get dust and grime and stuff like that. I don't even want to pull it out because I didn't want to see under there. But no matter how clean you try to keep it, it was plastic, and it had these little rivets and vents, and it's nearly impossible, even with Q-tips. You might get it clean one day, and then the next day, literally, it'll be just as dirty. So I got that one from the Tiguan, and it kind of hides that portion of it. So yeah, it was a great upgrade for me in my eyes. About 120 bucks or something like that. You can get it from ECS Tuning. Over here, I got the this is a tap for the boost gauge. So a lot of people, they actually drill holes and stuff, and I didn't want to do that. So what I did is I bought this from CTS Turbo, and what it is it goes in between the throttle body and the intake manifold, and it creates an actual tap with a little nipple, and you can go ahead and wire your boost gauge that way, and that's how the gauge is wired. And that's basically it. Honestly, full bolt-on car. Got some small little touches like the black caps and stuff like that, but for the most part, it's pretty much stock. So this car was dynoed and tuned. I'll go ahead and show you guys the clip either at the end of the video or right after this. But it was tuned. I tried to do the E85 thing. Well, it was more like E30, and the car did not like it at all. So this is obviously tuned, pro-tuned by Cobb. And for some reason, the Volkswagen Audi guys don't like change. So I actually got a lot of hate when Cobb initially released this, because a lot of guys like the APR and the Unitronic and stuff like that. But I wanted to do an actual custom tune for this car, because I don't like cookie cutter tunes. Now I get it, APR may make a little bit more power and stuff like that, but this car is tuned for this car. Every motor is different. No matter, two engines could be produced the same day, but they're going to be different. So I wanted the tune to be exactly how I wanted it, and that's basically what I got. So it was dyno tuned a couple times, street tuned actually, and then I put it on the dyno. I dynoed it stock. I dynoed it with some upgrades, and then the final one with fuel pump and a couple little upgrades as well. So I'm probably missing some stuff, but it's basically a full bolt-on car. The car made around 370 horsepower and 430 foot-pounds of torque on a DynoJet dyno. So it's enough. It's enough. And I initially bought this car as a daily driver, and that changed pretty quick when I actually enjoyed it. I had a Mark 6 Golf R prior to this, and that thing was basically stock. It just had an intake, a catback, and an APR tune. Other than that, it was bone stock, other than some wheels and a slight drop. But yeah, so I started doing stuff to this car, and before I knew it, I was getting too crazy with the modifications. So I went ahead and bought a Civic. I bought an EP3 hatch, and then that had some rust issues. So I went ahead and got the new one, which is that one right over there. It doesn't get too much love, but yeah, that's my daily driver. This thing turned into kind of like a project car, but not really, because honestly, I've been actually contemplating getting rid of this car. The reason being is I pretty much did everything I wanted to do to this car. And the next steps is either go bigger turbo and accept potentially Volkswagen big time issues. And I don't know if I want those kinds of issues in my life. So like for example, with the Evo, I bought this car such a long time ago that I'm prepared to blow things. Like if the transfer case went out on that car, the transmission, I've accepted that's a possibility. It could happen, and then from there I move on. But I haven't accepted this car giving me those issues, so I don't know what I want to do with this car at this moment. Been contemplating potentially getting rid of it and getting like an Evo 10. But yeah, I'm in a weird place with this car. I love it. It's a great car. Pound for pound, it's one of the best cars to make easily 400 horsepower with, and still more comfortable than any other cars in this class. You can't beat the interior that this car has, or the way it turns and the technology and stuff like that. This car is honestly, it's a really good deal for what you get. So yeah, this is basically my overview of the car. I love this car. It's very torquey. It's definitely a sleeper. A lot of people don't even know what it is. They think it's either a base Golf or a GTI, and it's definitely pulls. I already told you, 434 pounds of torque. That's quite a lot. So yeah, that's basically it, guys. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I may have forgotten certain things, like I forgot the little Maxton duckbill in the back. But yeah, overall, it's full bolt-on car, great car, love it, clean, very mean looking, very aggressive, and I like it. I just had a weird spot with it, so I'm not sure what I should do. So let me know what you guys think. Should I get an Evo 10? Get rid of this? Should I keep it? Let me know in the comments. All right, peace.